Welcome to today's Pilates video. So today we're going to be working on a little bit of upper back and upper limb mobility and some strength work through our arms as well. So for today's video, you might need just a little bit of equipment. So either if you've got a full length roller or a half roller, that would work. If you haven't got either of those, you can always use a rolled up bath towel into a big kind of sausage shape. That will work for you. And also to do a little bit of strength work, you need some small hand weights. If you haven't got hand weights, again, you can use something you've got at home. So maybe a small bottle of water or can of beans, and then you've got in the cupboard that you can use. So if you need to just pause the video and go and get that equipment, then now's the time. Otherwise, we shall get started. So we're going to start off just doing some upper back mobility. So we're going to use your roller or your rolled up towel, and you're going to lay it along the length of your mat. And then what you want to do is bring your bottom right onto the end of whatever you're lying on. If it's the roller, you will need to be all the way down the far end. You're almost going to feel like you're coming off the end of the roller to come back down, so that when you lie on it, your head is fully supported. I'm going to start off just by opening up through the chest. So we're going to turn our palms up towards the ceiling. Just make sure your knees are bent and your feet are hip width apart. And then from here, we're going to try and keep your hands as close to the floor as you can as you just glide those fingertips out wide. And then from there, if you can go a bit further, keeping your hands as close to the floor as you can, coming all the way up above your head. It might be that your hands come off the floor a little bit, that's fine. We're going to keep them down as close to the floor as you feel comfortable going. And then we're going to come back down, out wide, and down next to your hips. So it's important with your shoulders that you don't push through anything that feels really painful. I don't mind it feeling like it's stretching through the front of the chest and the upper arms. So we're going to open up, keeping the fingertips as close to the floor as you can, coming up above your head. Try not to arch away from whatever you're lying on, so your roller or your towel. Try not to arch, but just keeping that breastbone belly button down, and then coming down and wide again, down next to your hips. Breathing in as you come up, and breathing out as you come back down. Just keep going, we'll do a few more, just opening up through the chest, through the arms. Again, trying to keep that back down, making sure you're not flaring through the rib cage, keeping the shoulders away from your ears. Breathing in to open up, breathing out, come back down again. Let's do two more. Good, last one. Well done. So the next exercise we're going to do is still opening up through the front of the shoulders, the front of the chest, but this time we're going to bend the elbows so that your fingertips are up towards the ceiling. Your elbows are going to stay rested on the floor. So this is going to be a bit different for everyone depending on your mobility and openness through the front of the chest. So your elbows might be a bit closer next to you, kind of down next to the rib cage, or if you're a bit more open, a bit more flexible, then you can bring your elbows out wide a little bit more. So it can be anywhere kind of in between. The furthest you want to go is up level with your shoulders, but if you need to bring it down a little bit, then you can bring it down a little bit. And then what we're going to do, keeping palms facing towards the toes, or towards the feet, you're just going to take the palms down towards the floor, keeping the elbows in contact with the floor. And then you're going to come back up, fingertips towards the ceiling, and then we're going to go back of the hands towards the floor. So again, this is going to be different for everybody. Some people might be able to get their hands down flat, palms down flat. You might not be able to, that's fine. As long as you're just getting the shoulders moving and opening up. Fingertips towards the ceiling, and then back of the hands down towards the floor. This is the one that most people are a bit tighter in, so it might be that you only go kind of halfway down, but you should feel that opening through the front of the chest. So keep breathing, fingertips towards the ceiling, and then palms down towards the floor. Just holding for a second, Coming back up, fingertips towards the ceiling, back of the hands towards the floor. Fingertips towards the ceiling, and then palms down towards the floor. You're just working on opening up through the chest, just where you're comfortable to. Keep breathing, try and keep that breastbone and belly button down. The sun's come out shining on me, it's quite nice. Good. Let's just do one more. Palms towards the floor, up towards the ceiling, and then back behind you. Good. And then maybe just lie for a moment with the arms out wide, just really relaxing the arms towards the floor, sinking that breastbone and belly button down towards the floor, and just feeling that opening stretch through the front of the chest. Just hold it there for 4 or 5 breaths. Just trying to let the front of the chest open up and let go. Just hold for 1 more breath. Good. And then bring your arms back down by your side. We're going to come off the roller or the towel. And bring the roller out of the way. And then you're going to use your hand weights to do a little bit of work through the biceps at the front, and then we'll do a little bit through the triceps at the back as well. So just when you stand with your feet hip width apart, coming up nice and tall, drop the shoulders down, just make sure that pelvis is nice and neutral, that core is switched on. And then we're going to just breathe out, hands come towards shoulders, breathe in nice and slowly back down again. Breathing out, coming up towards shoulders, breathing in, coming down again. Just make sure when you're doing that you're not moving through the upper body. So you don't want to be leaning back or swinging to bring your arms up. You want to keep that control. Nice and controlled through the arms, keeping that body up nice and tall, core switched on. Breathing out, breathing in to come back. Do 3 more. 2 and 1. Good. And relax off. Give the arms a little bit of a shake out. So for the next exercise, we're going to work on the back of the arm. So the opposite to the biceps, the triceps at the back. So from here, I'm going to get you to take 1 step forward with 1 leg. You want your knees to be slightly soft. You want to keep that length through the crown of the head, core switched on, and then you're going to lean forward, keeping that spine really nice and long. Try not to curl through the spine. You really want to be nice and long. That neck, a nice long extension of the spine. We're going to bend the elbows and just tuck them in next to your rib cage, hands kind of down towards the floor. And then from there, you're just going to breathe out, straighten the arms. Breathe in, slowly come back down towards the mat. So breathe out to push, breathe in to come down. Try and keep that neck nice and long, shoulders down away from your ears, collarbones wide, so don't let your collarbones shorten and you sink forward. You're going to keep those shoulder blades just gently pull together at the back, not too much, but just to make sure that you're not shortening through the front. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Start to feel it through the back of the upper arm. You could also use a resistance band if you've got a resistance band to do this exercise. Let's do 3 more. Have a break beforehand if you need a break beforehand. Last one. And the slower you do these, the better. So the slower you do it, the more control you'll need through the muscles, and the better the muscles will work. So again, have a little shake off through the arms. We're going to do one more for the back of the upper arm this time, so right up the top, so not so much lower down, but at the back of the shoulder. So again, we're going to take one step forward, soft knees, long through the spine, core engaged. Going to gently lean forward. This time your hand's going to start by your thighs. Going to keep your arms really nice and long. Breathe out to lift up, in to come down. So you're not bending the elbows this time. You're just taking the arms straight out behind you and straight back down again. Again, keeping the neck long, shoulders down away from your ears, collarbones wide. And on this one, as we're working, you should feel it more at the top of the back of the arm. Keep breathing out as you push up, in as you come down. We can do 3 more. Keep those elbows straight. 2 and 1. Good, well done. And relax off. So you're going to put your weights down. Again, have a little shake out through the arms. We can do 2 more exercises. These ones are going to use our body weight. So we're going to come back down onto the mat. We're going to do just small press up variation to work again through the arms. For this position, you can make it work for you as hard or as easy as you need it to be. We want it to be working the arms. You should feel it in the arms. So technique is really important. More important than how many you do or how far you're moving. You just want to be able to feel it through the upper arms. So we're going to come over onto all fours, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Going to make sure that spine is nice and long. Maybe have a little arch and hollow through the back, come long through the spine, and just make sure you're not sinking down into your shoulders. So push the mat away from you gently, or push yourself away from the mat gently. So from here, we're going to try and keep our elbows nice and close to our rib cage, and you're going to try and keep your nose level with your fingertips. So as you come down, elbows stay in, nose stays level with fingertips, and then you're going to push back up again. It's easy for the elbows to want to come out wide, or for you want to come back, so your nose is behind your hands. So just really try and keep the nose level with the fingertips, elbows staying in next towards your chest, so you're not going out wide. Now, if your technique's right, but you can only go halfway and then push up again, because that's all your arms can do, that's absolutely fine. If you want to load more, you can come back and load, bring your knees further back, and then as you lower and push up, you're working harder through the arms. But again, I want you to keep the elbows tucked in and the nose at least level with fingertips or slightly in front of fingertips. So just do those last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And really, in terms of repetitions, just have a little sit back, have a rest off. You want to work until you feel your arms are tired. So having just done a little bit of work with the weights and doing that one, when your arms start to feel a bit tired, just try and do 2 or 3 more, and then you can relax off, have a little bit of a break. So maybe just interlock your fingers, stretch your arms forward, and then take them up, really lengthen through the waist. Good, and then relax down. We're going to do one more exercise. This one is a little bit of strength, but also a little bit of mobility through the thoracic spine, the upper spine. So we're going to work on thread the needle. So we're going to come back into that same starting position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Just mobilise through the spine a little bit, come up nice and long, shoulders away from ears, just that little push of your breastbone away from the mat. Cores engaged, we're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to thread one arm under the other, your ear and shoulder coming towards the mat, they don't have to touch the mat, they're not resting on the mat, and breathing, coming back up again. So you're just threading through. I don't want you to take weight through the ear or the shoulder. Your stabilising arm should be taking weight as you thread through. Breathing out to thread and in to come up again. I don't mind if you don't go as far, but you're really bending that stabilising elbow and trying to keep the arms relatively close to one another. What it's easy to do is to come back and sit back, bottom towards heels a little bit more, but we really want you to try and keep the shoulder over the hand on that stabilising arm as you lower and as you come back up. Breathe out, breathe in. Good. Stay strong through the shoulders, long through the neck. Breathing out. Let's do 2 more on either side. Keeping those arms close together, keeping your shoulder over your stabilising arm, hand on that weight-bearing side. Last one. Good, well done. Just have a little sit back, bottom to heels. You can either walk your arms forward and allow your forehead to come to the mat, or rest your hands onto your forehead onto your hands, and just resting back into that child pose. Keep breathing. If your hands are out in front of you, or if you're happy to move them out in front of you, then rest your forehead close to the mat as you feel comfortable going. Just push all of your fingers and thumb tips into the mat. Lift the palms up and lift the arms up towards the ceiling, keeping them long but the fingertips on the mat. And you should just feel it opening up through the shoulders, through the arms a little bit. Keep breathing. 2 more breaths. And relax off. We're going to come up into sitting. And then from this position, I'm just going to get you to bring your right arm across your left shoulder. Push your right elbow in towards your chest. So you feel the stretch through the back of the right shoulder. Hold it there, keep breathing. Try and drop that right shoulder down. Good. And then relax that side off. Go across your left arm over your right shoulder. Push your left elbow in. Try and drop that left shoulder down. Feel the stretch of the back of the left arm. And keep the rest of your spine up nice and long. Just hold for 1 more breath. Good, and then relax off. 1 more little stretch to finish off with. You're going to put your hands by your side, turn the fingers back, and then just start to walk those fingertips towards one another. Just as far as you feel comfortable going, and then you're going to straighten the arms, lift the chest, maybe look up a little bit, drop the shoulders, open up through the collarbones, and opening up through the front of the chest and the front of the upper arm. Just hold it there. Keep breathing. One more breath. And relax off. Bring the hands back in front of you. Well done. You've just done a little upper body strength and some mobility. I hope you enjoyed.